and we are looming up on Summerfest, but that's not the only event coming up. The weekend after that is Punk Fest, which we are a sponsor of, July 18th and 19th. And today we're talking to one of the bands here, Until Defeat, that'll be playing on Punk Fest. How you guys doing?
All right.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
Hey, no worries. No worries at all. Well, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. Sorry.
Thanks for having us.
So again, Punk Fest, it's going to be at Side Stage, July 18th and 19th. You guys are playing on the 18th, I think. Then you said you're playing the Friday.
That is correct.
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, very excited. We'll be talking about that throughout the episode here. But I did want to talk about you guys as well. You're a relatively newer band, if I'm not mistaken, on the scene. So, how did the band form, or what are kind of the origins of Until Defeat?
Harry, you want to take this, or should I?
We can both take it.
Okay. Dawning from the year 2009, Harry and I met in a kindergarten classroom, and we started playing music in like 8th grade. There was this like the question of, hey, do you guys want to play in a band? And I'd assumed, and I think another friend of ours had assumed, we were just talking about playing rock band at someone's house. But no, here I was with a microphone in my hand in our math class, singing like "Smoke on the Water" and whatever. And now, like, cut to high school, 2 people have left, and it's just Harry and I. I'm learning guitar. I'm not good at it. Still not good at it. And we're making music, and Harry can take it from here because I talked a lot.
Yeah, basically, it's probably just right before the pandemic we got to playing music again properly. And then the pandemic happened, and we sort of were forced on a forced hiatus. But after that, we've just been playing in my basement. Picture scene behind me. Just we get together every week, wrote some songs. Then I got invited to join another band in the scene, and I kind of used that as leverage to get us playing shows back in 2020, back last year. And now we're here, and we're playing a lot of shows. We've got a lot of music.
Yeah.
And we're super
The ball
stoked.
keeps rolling.
We played our first show July 14th last year, and in a year and 4 days, we got to playing Punk Fest. So that's very exciting for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. You've really, like you said, you've had some great shows in just under over a year, I should say. And we got a great shot of the War Room. It sounds like behind you there. That's the rehearsal area
where magic happens.
Absolutely.
We were just in there earlier.
Yeah, you could probably still smell the sweat.
There's probably still some of my blue guitar picks flying around in there.
My water bottle somewhere in there.
You got to set the vibe for punk music. You got to set the vibe. So I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So all the way back to 2009. And so what would be some of the influences for the band then? Because it really is a punk feel. Like you've got a gritty punk feel to it, like an old school punk feel, I would say. So what would be some influences?
My list is really long, so I'm gonna let the other two go first.
Well, I guess I'll start. I'm more of a metal guy, so typically, like biggest influence of all time is Iron Maiden, and I kind of put that more into the drumming. I'm less of the musical contributor here, but I drum away and I drum it. I feel like I don't drum a super punk style. I feel like I drum more metal sometimes. But yeah, like Iron Maiden, Metallica, Slayer, kind of those are my big 3 inspirations, I think. And then Dream Theater, which is a really out there one. For a punk band, it's a little out there. So I guess Howard, you could take over.
In terms of influences, I have a lot of influences, I'd say. Definitely when it comes to punk, like Bad Religion is the big one that comes to mind for me. Anytime I try and write a punk song, that's usually like what comes to mind as my first inspiration. And of course, like I do like more of the classic Green Day, and yeah, like I come from more of a pop punk background,
Okay.
and I play in another band. I play power metal, so I also kind of come from like a bit of a metal background, but more of a pop punk background. So it's like my influences are pretty wide, but Bad Religion is definitely my go-to.
I've had quite a few influences over the years. I feel a little like worried because I've done most of the writing, and every
Okay.
song kind of in my mind is like, oh, that's this band song that sounds like this band that I've kind of like had in the back of my head while writing it. A lot of like System of a Down, kind of Propaganda, of course, obligatory. Have to mention them. I'm blanking apparently.
There's just so many, right?
There's so many. I love music.
Yeah.
Music is a big part of what I do. So I just
Melvins
kind of
was inspiration for one, right?
Hmm?
The Melvins.
Melvin's was an inspiration for one.
There you go.
I do
could hear
like
that.
it's just kind of I make what I want to hear kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
So like
Yeah.
my inspirations go from Tool to like Streetlight Manifesto, ska stuff. Like it's a
this
lot.
man loves his Streetlight Manifesto.
I love
Yeah.
trumpets. I love trumpets. If anyone
That's
plays
awesome.
trumpet and wants to join Until Defeat, talk to me, Harry. He'll say no.
There's room in the band for a trumpet.
There's room in the band for
a
some
trumpet
trumpets.
player. That's awesome.
This
So a little bit
musical
off
burrito
topic,
can
but
always use another ingredient.
a little bit off topic, but you guys must have really enjoyed the Ozzy Osbourne show there, or the Black Sabbath show, I should say, there that they just had over the weekend.
I didn't watch it.
Didn't catch it.
I've seen some highlights. I was actually planning on watching.
That's how I watched it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Harry, I think how much have you seen so far?
I've seen a lot of it. I mean, Metallica and Slayer, and obviously Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
So, but I was out at the cabin over the weekend, so I didn't get to see it live. And then
Fair enough.
I found like the Slayer. I found like the full stream of it on YouTube yesterday, and it seems to be gone now.
That does happen.
They seem to be pretty quick on the copyright on that.
Yeah. Cool, but yeah, a lot of great bands playing there, and so that's an epic show. You guys played quite an epic show with a few great bands. Some of you familiar with Sky Raid, Ash and the Arsonist, Spectre. You guys played Bulldog. Why don't you talk about how that show kind of came about, or at least how you joined onto the show a little bit there? I think
Howard.
I know where that comes from, but
It was all Howard.
had to pull some bass strings. Some bass strings were pulled on that one.
Yeah, so I play bass in Sky Raid. That's the power metal band I mentioned earlier.
Great band, by the way. Great band.
Thank you.
Love
Thank
Sky
you. We've had a very fun and eventful year so far, and I'm really excited to see what we do next. But yeah, so we were we had two bands lined up, and then we needed a third, and the timing wasn't working out. And so I, very eagerly said in the group chat, I'm like, I have another band. and it's like, well, if they can do it, they're in. It's like, okay. And I checked and it all worked out, and it's like, oh, cool. Now I get to open and close the show. So that was a whole lot of fun, and it all worked out great, and like it was my second show with these guys. Like our first show was like at Side Stage, I think it was a week before, a week and a half. Yeah, like it was like still relatively recent. So yeah, the scheduling just worked out great, and I'm sure we'll do it again at some point. Less gear for me to carry, so I'm always eager to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just the timing worked out great.
I find it so funny because a lot of our shows have come from, hey, I play in this band. They need another member. Let's get this band in there. It's been Harry's. What's the word I'm looking for? Harry's done it. Howard's done it. Until Defeat's all I got, man. I stayed loyal. Loyal.
Well, you're busy looking for the
project you don't
trumpet player.
know
I get it.
I'm busy looking for a trumpet player.
He's busy auditioning trumpet players.
Mouth trumpet will only get me so far.
And I saw we got Yeah, we got a great chat going on right now. So Joe Carson from Ashley Arsonist in there saying, "Guys are a great band," so shout out to them.
Hell yeah. I still feel so bad during when we played with them at Skyraid, with Skyraid. I was up
Mhm.
on stage. My mind muddled with the thought of I was playing with an amp I didn't like the tone of, and that kind of just threw me off. But I went up to the mic and went, "Hey, big shout out to all the bands here," and then I went, "I don't remember the band name. It couldn't be Ash and the Arsonist. That sounds too obvious.
No.
Like Ash Fire, of course, that's what you think. It has to be Ace and the Arsonist." So that's what I said. And then Harry thanks them at the end of the show, says it properly, and I just went, "What? What? Fuck!"
Man. Well, as somebody who is definitely very bad with names, I sympathize for you there.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I've done that more than once. Anyway, so yeah, that was an amazing show, though. It really was a
Thank
great
you.
show.
That was really fun.
Thank you.
So you've had some new music come out this year. I think you released Forbidden Island in April.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some great tunes in there. I really like Consume. Forbidden Island's a great song.
Thank you.
Was there those songs that you wrote at the same time as you wrote your previous three, or were they written afterwards? I should say, or
Can I cover this one, Harry?
Go for it.
This is a really
Go for
funny one because Forbidden
Okay.
Island, I think we've been sitting on for about 2 years.
Okay.
2 years.
For more than 2 years. And then Consume, we made like a month before recording. We just like pumped that out. It went out. And it was like, okay, that's our song. We got it. Like Forbidden Island is going to be the only song. But then we had Consumed and we were like, why not? Put it on there. And now that's the more listened to song. So
Yeah, it's a great-
We're just
it's a great
scrapping
track.
everything we got and we're doing it again.
He sent me the demo as
Oh.
they were making it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I sent it to Howard, and then Howard's like, "I really like this. Here's me playing bass to it," and we went, "We could use a bass player."
That's how I
And
joined.
then we threw a sack over his head, and he wound up in the studio.
on his own volition, legally speaking, he went by his own
Legally,
terms.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's awesome, though. So, have you found like you just said, you wrote a lot of those songs a few years ago, and then Consume was the
Mhm.
new one. Is there that kind of a difference or a change right now in the writing style now that you've kind of released a few songs with the band?
I think so. It definitely feels different. It also feels like a bigger mess now. Like we playing with a third person. Like we've been a two-piece for ages. It's been
Mhm.
Harry and me. So I could come in and be like, "Hey, I made this up. Play some drums to it." Boom, we got a song. But now we got Howard, so I have to like slow it down. Shout out to Howard. Love Howard. Greatest bassist. But sorry.
It's a new dynamic.
No worries.
It's dynamic, yeah. I have to teach someone else
Yeah.
how to play my song that I don't actually know how to play. My fingers just move, and that works.
But it's like it. But for me, like jumping into a project that's like already been established, which I did with Skyraid as well. It's been really nice because I get to kind of like I get to find my place in it, and with them, like they've been nothing but encouraging, and like I've like when I joined, like they had demos of all the stuff they had recorded, so I
Mhm.
just literally had like 3 songs a week. Learn these, we'll practice them up, and then like it moved fast. And
Mhm.
like with Consume, like when I got that first demo, I'm like, this is music I would seek out anyways. So it all worked out. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I guess it doesn't sound like it's all that different, but how different is it playing between Skyraid and then Until Defeat then?
Skyraid is definitely like the songs are definitely faster on average,
Mhm.
and it's like with Until Defeat, each song can be drastically different from each other, and
Yeah.
it's a different type of challenge. I had to improve my speed with Skyraids, which like I used to play with primarily the pick, but then I switched to like a 3-finger plucking style. And with Until Defeat, some songs are slower, so I can like ease up on that, but like others like give me a lot of room to really be spontaneous with my playing. and like experimental, and I like that. I like having both. Both keep me very consistent and like keep me on top of my game. And with Until Defeat, like I like that spontaneousness because I'm very spontaneous, so it works out that the music that we're making is as spontaneous as that, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I have a lot of fun with both.
That's awesome. You're getting some love in the chat there. Howard's a game changer, it says here.
Howard the game changer. Shout out my friends. I love my friends. Friends are awesome.
And also a big fan from the Philippines you have in the chat here as well. That's awesome.
I can't fact check that.
Check the Spotify analytics.
Check the Spotify analytics. It might just be one of my friends.
That's understandable. Well, hey, that's how punk rock works. That's nothing wrong with that. So again, talking Forbidden Island, talking Consume. One thing, and you kind of touched on it earlier, but one thing I really liked about you guys is some of the skits that you've done on social media, or that you've posted on social media after doing them. So you had at least one for the album, and then before that as well for bringing Howard in on bass. Maybe talk about those a little bit, because especially the one with the bass player was really funny. It was great.
I'll let you lead that because you're the creative leads on those.
Yeah, I don't think Howard can answer that one. He was again of his own volition. He was there.
Yeah, a lot of convincing for Howard to get a bag thrown over his head. Actually, no, it didn't. I think that actually just was me going, Howard, how would you feel about having a bag thrown over your head? And originally it was just going to be a picture. We were just going to have a picture, Howard, like, bag over his head, just kind of standing there, us, like. And then it turned into, we all grew up on the internet. Smosh existed. Yeah. Let's just do a skit. And then we realized they're a lot of fun to do, so we just keep doing them. It's a good time.
When he had to drag me, like when he's like dragging me, I didn't help him at all for that. No, I straight up just leaned into him because I thought, oh, this will be funny. The first take of that, which you can kind of see in the outtakes, you can kind of hear it. He trips.
Any reaction to me, like grumbling, like oh, that was me. I'm not built very big. Okay, I don't lift much. Howard lifts. Lifting Howard does not work out.
What was your bench press PR the other day, Howard?
What?
What was your bench press PR from the other day?
Yeah.
55.
25.
Well, and then like when I got to carry him, like I could still kind of see through the mask, like I could see everything.
Oh yeah.
I made it look like I couldn't. So when I'm whipping him around, I didn't tell him that I could see through the bag. So he's like trying to make sure he doesn't get just smacked by a tree. And
honestly, though, that's what made it so good. Like it's really funny stuff. It's great.
I can tell you Aiden's favorite scene. It was I was on the slide when I slide down, and he's like, "Okay, it's time to go," and you just see my head go.
Oh,
just see.
That was his favorite scene.
Most of the skits are always done like, this is the idea. We're gonna shoot at this angle. Do what you want, kind of thing. But like we've never scripted anything. So just kind of like, oh, that was funny. And this is kind of how we write music. It's like someone plays a part to a song. He's like, oh, that was good. But like, that's just kind of the creative process, I guess, where it's, I like this idea. Keep doing more of that.
It goes as like a rough concept rather than like, here's a refined script. And like, it works because like he's saying, like, it's similar to our music. It can be very spontaneous, but it's also like, there's a vague outline that starts the whole thing. And I think that's like our videos have only ever benefited from that because like we've gone in with an open mind and like we've shot more stuff than we think we need, and then we get back, it's like, oh, now we can do like a little blooper reel and stuff. And I got to edit one of them, which I haven't edited videos in a long time, and that was a lot of fun. That was the one where we did a collab with Justin from Couriers. Shout out to Justin.
Oh, yeah.
And he and it just so happened that I was going to be jamming with him anyways. So I just, filmed his parts while I'm at his house, and it worked out great. And the having the ringtone be like their song. And like, it's like, wouldn't this be funny? And like, we're all like, yeah. And we're all getting giddy about it. And then when it came out, we're all laughing so hard about it.
I think my favorite one from that one with Justin was the desk I'm at, like sitting at. We were just like, what if it's covered in trash? And then we proceeded to take Harry's trash bin and just throw everything onto the desk. And I'm just sitting there with like old school RuneScape on a monitor going, oh, my phone's ringing. So I'm just throwing
It's
junk
in a cup.
everywhere.
It was in a cup.
Yeah, it was in a cup in the end. We had a bunch of takes. There was one where it was in a microphone bag.
Or
Oh, it
like
was a
when we
good
threw
time.
when we threw paper at Aiden, like that one we literally came up with in 30 seconds.
We
And
came
we
up with that a few practices ago. You guys just throw paper at me.
and we and like we shot that and it was like, wow, that was the fastest promo I think we've ever done, and we just added booze in post.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
We love it.
Well, you can definitely tell that you guys, like you said, are having a good time with it. So as long as you are, keep doing it because they're fantastic. Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what it's all about.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, they are very kind of like your music. They're very punk rock. They're very do it yourself.
Yeah.
Kind of see what works and just run with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, again, there's we're talking about Punk Fest here, July 18th and 19th at Side Stage. There's not a lot of returning bands this year, I don't think, at Punk Fest.
I don't
There's
think
one or two. We're talking.
I think there's some returning bands. Second
floor, yeah.
That's what I was going to say. We're talking to them later tonight, and they're one of them, I think.
I from what I understood, they couldn't make it last minute.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right.
So I think they're looking specifically for no repeats with.
Okay, gotcha.
But
Okay, I did not know. That's kind of where I was about to go. Is I wasn't able to attend last year, unfortunately. So what would you say about some of the bands that are playing then? Because they do really have a great lineup, though.
Better than us. Oh my God, we are out of our league. That's how I feel every show we play. Like this scene is full of so much talent.
I write the sheet music on the inside of my eyelids because I can't remember.
I'm like Fletcher from Whiplash in the studio right now, trying to like compare to these other bands, man.
Well, like
they got some great.
Like it's a nice lineup, a whole lot of variety.
Yeah.
But before I joined them, like I had been in the scene like for a little while there, and I got to see the first local show that I did see in terms of like the punk and like hardcore scene was with Second Floor Patients, and that was also Courier's first show. And Phantom Killing and Your Mum were playing. So it was a very nice introduction, a lot of variety to what the scene had to offer. And then I've gotten to see like Soundoff. I've seen, Perception Check, and also ran quite a number of times. And it's
also Ran's fantastic, man.
Oh, we love those guys. And they it's nice to be able to like share an event with them, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah,
it's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
for sure. Go ahead, sorry.
Super huge fan of I think the first day I know a lot of the bands already, so I'm super excited for that. Like the Second Floor Patients, love them. They were there at our first.
Love those guys.
Love
those guys.
Yeah. We were discussing leaving a message for them, but we didn't actually think of that message. So we're just saying hello,
hi.
As Death Sax is playing, we played a show with them back in December of last year. They're awesome. Perception Check, I've gotten into them. I think that they're ridiculously good.
So good.
If one of you happens to be listening, it would be awesome if you played Pill live, but I don't think that would happen. But that is my favorite song from like a local artist, bar none. That was so good.
Mm-hmm.
But second day also ran is awesome. I think Bastardize is there. We've played a show with them before, a long time ago.
First show we played with them, actually.
Very, like we were saying, very stacked lineup, and it's. I think it's going to be whoever sees, like whoever goes to Punk Fest is going to get a nice variety of music, and I think that's going to be really great to see and hear because, like, the scene has so much to offer and like such variety And like, if you want a band that's like angry and fast, we got you. If you want a band that's a little bit more slow tempo, but like has deep soulful lyrics, we got you. Like, there's no shortage of variety, and that's one of the things I love about this scene so much.
Yeah, the Winnipeg music scene is definitely not short of variety. It's thriving and doing really great. Awesome. Well, you did mention Second Floor Patient. I did want to mention them as well because I'm talking to them a little bit later on tonight, and I thought that was actually appropriate to have them on and you guys in the same night because it is a really great combo. You've had a few shows together. I haven't seen you play together, unfortunately, so I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing that in the future. Are you guys playing the same night for Punk Fest? I can't remember. I'm sorry.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I think
they're,
so.
Okay,
they're earlier.
there you go.
They're earlier in the day on the Friday.
So I'll get my chance then. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I will get my chance then because you guys just listening to your music, getting ready for the interviews here. Definitely a great combo, I would say.
Second Floor actually has my favorite song out of anyone in the scene, and it's called Two. And
yes,
like that one is that's my favorite out of all the songs I've heard in the scene. It's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, it's a great song. Awesome. Well, wrapping things up here, guys. It was really great to talk to you. Is there anything else you guys want to say? Again, we're plugging Punk Fest July 18th, July 19th at Side Stage. Anything else to go over?
Do we have anything else to go over? I don't think so.
I guess you know what I should have asked. I was going to ask. Sorry, and I'm forgetting. Are there any new songs coming out? Anything to maybe announce or kind of tease going forward?
There might be an album in the works, and by in the works I mean we're talking about it. But there might be an album soon. Maybe. Who knows?
We have a partially scratched out image on a whiteboard of an idea for that.
it's just like album ? That's all that's written on that whiteboard.
The idea of an album.
Yeah.
The idea of an album.
We're really like trying to get into like the understanding of what an album is before we make one. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're definitely going to keep like practicing and see how things develop, and whenever we have like a concrete thing, we're definitely gonna post some skits about it.
Yes, absolutely. Looking forward to that.
First.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And if it's anything like Consume, like I said, you guys got a good thing going on right now. So I'm looking forward to hearing some new music in the future.
Well, everything that we have recorded will be re-recorded. We've got some nice new equipment, so
nice.
It should sound a little nicer. We've got a whole variety of songs. We've got one song that's very sort of thrash metal that's going on. We got
a thrash metal song. We got a song that sounds kind of like we stole it from Primus.
I'm looking forward to that. Okay.
This man keeps wanting me to learn Primus.
Tommy the Cat, when's it happening? And he tells me, I can't do it, sir.
You're gonna get the bag back over your head unless you learn.
Yeah. You have to learn Primus on the bass, or else he gets the hose again.
There you go. If you want to go back to the park on the slide there, you better learn Primus.
Are you Wes or are you Claypool? I don't know.
I don't know. He's the same person.
He made the South Park theme.
Awesome. Well, again, thanks for coming on, guys. It was a pleasure talking to you guys. Really looking forward to seeing you at Punk Fest in a couple of weeks there. Next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much for having us. We had a great time.
Yeah, no, thanks a lot, man.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good one. Later.
Bye.